welcome your Grand Marshal from the upcoming film Disney's Oz the Great and Powerful, James Franco.
Drivers and Danica, start your engines!
Ray Lewis throws the green flag. Boogity, boogity, boogity! Let's just go racing.
Jeff Gordon got a little side draft on Patrick going into turn number 1, moves up to the high side and takes the lead. That's Harvick leading the inside lane from 4th place.
That should make Danica feel real good. He could have stayed down there with Kevin Harvick, but he drove to the outside, picked up Danica for the draft. And here we come. The first lap of the Daytona 500 is about to be complete.
And from inside the front row, Jeff Gordon, 4-time series champion, will lead lap 1 of 200 from Patrick, Kyle Busch, and Casey Kane.
I think Jeff Gordon knew, though, if he wanted to lead that first lap, he was going to have to do exactly what he did and slid up in front of Danica Patrick in the 10, over in 1 and 2, up on the top side.
Larry, for all the things that maybe inexperienced yet, she has a fast car. Just like we saw with Trevor Bayne here a couple of years ago. He had a fast car. People wanted to work with him, wanted to draft with him. I think that's where Danica is today.
Dale Earnhardt Jr., 18, stuck kind of mid-pack there with Tony Stewart.
He was the fastest in yesterday's final practice.
Yeah, and Stevie Letarte said that they found a little magic in the car in practice, and it showed with their practice speed, but he's caught in that kind of sucker hole right now.
5 cars single file at the front, including rookie Austin Dillon, grandson of championship and 500 winning car winner Richard Childress. Dillon's going to run the Nationwide Series this year and perhaps move up to Sprint Cup full-time next season. Keep an eye on him in the number 33. Whoa.
You know, clearly in the early going, just like we saw in the Budweiser duels, the high line is prevailing. But I see Kevin Harvick in the 29. It's almost like the other day in the Budweiser duel. The deeper we got into the race, he started making that bottom line work.
Well, and Larry, that's why Danica chose the outside for the start. They felt like that's where the momentum was. The inside will come back before the day's over.
This is Jeff Gordon's 21st Daytona 500. He has led 17 of his 21 starts.
Could you be in a happier place if you were Danica? You've got Jeff Gordon in front of you. You've got Kyle Busch behind you. She's kind of in the rocking chair, just being pushed along. Perfect spot for her at this point.
Hard to tell this week if Jeff Gordon is the best of those 4 Hendrick Chevrolets. A lot of folks are pointing to that blue car, the number 5 of Casey Kane, as having Hendrick's strongest shot to win this 500.
Well, I think about the 150s on Thursday. Jeff Gordon had the car to beat. He had a pit road violation, had to do a drive-through. It took him out of contention. That 24 car and Jeff Gordon, they want to reverse the kind of year they had down here last year.
In the middle, Dale Earnhardt Jr. has some help. The yellow car with him is Joey Logano, new driver for Roger Penske. That team has switched to Fords. And right behind him, Nationwide Series champ Ricky Stenhouse, who moves up to the Sprint Cup Series for Jack Roush in a Ford.
But look at these cars. Nobody's going anywhere. You know, you can throw a blanket over the whole field right now.
Yeah, they're not being bashful about 3 wide. In fact, right now, coming to complete lap 6, 37 drivers separated by less than 2 seconds.
Well, Larry, we documented this yesterday in practice. These guys have had over 35 hours of practice testing at this racetrack. They've got it figured out. They've made all the adjustments in the car. I think it's the best it could possibly be for this race.
Johnson first, Kenseth second with a push from Gordon. Oh, Kane! Kane gets around, slides across the track. Dillon misses him. More carnage down toward turn number 1. Montoya, Harvick.
A real low apron.
All with damage as the caution comes out. Well, Keelan Harvick is not Dad's good luck charm today. Casey Kane, the blue Chevrolet number 5, the first car to go sideways, and then the secondary collision caught up Montoya and Harvick were under the second yellow flag, working lap 33.
Our champion, Brad Keselowski, a lot of damage.
Champ's got a lot of damage. Tony Stewart.
Car owner Rick Hendrick looks on to see which of his cars will make it back to pit road. Watch on the outside, the number 5, the blue car, and behind him, the yellow number 18.
Yeah, the 18 just got down on that inside, caught the left rear corner of the 5 car. That's a real vulnerable spot, and gave him a little tap and sent him a sailing.
What a close call for Joey Logano on that 22. He was all the way down in the grass and dodged it.
Yeah, these guys on further down the track, they really got in it afterwards when people were slowing down.
Kane sideways, comes across the nose of Montoya. At lap 36, green flag over Jimmie Johnson. Matt Kenseth tucked up under him. Danica Patrick on the outside now with Jeff Gordon.
Outside line got off to a bit of a slow start. That inside line with those 3 cars on the bottom right there, they got the head of steam right now. We'll see if Danica can pull back on the outside. That's been pretty good for that outside line.
Johnson, Kenseth, and Boyer on the inside line with Biffle. They head off into the 31-degree banking of turn 3. Let's crank it up.
We just caught up here with Kevin Harvick. Just came out of the infield care center. You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I saw the 5 spinning and just breathed out the throttle just a touch, and I think somebody got me just a little bit from the back and got in the outside wall and then took a couple pretty good shots there, but everything's fine.
Take a look right here. You can see what happened here.
Yeah, Kyle Busch turned to 5, and then I think the 55 just got me just a touch when I let off the throttle, but that's just part of this game. We've had a great week. We'll rebound next week in Phoenix and get on with our season.
Thanks, Kevin. Hey, yes, I'm down here with Tony Stewart. Just came out of the infield care center. Tony, if you can tell us kind of like what happened from your viewpoint.
We just saw the 5 get turned around, and then the 29 car got turned around too, and it's kind of right in the middle of the racetrack, so didn't know exactly where to go. So we tried to go high, and Kevin's car rolled back. So just closed the door. Just one of those things that can't control.
Take a look here on your car.
Yeah, we're just trying to get stopped right here, and everything's going the right way till there, so just run out of room. So if I didn't tell you I was heartbroken and disappointed, I'd be lying to you. It's we had a car that was really, really good. I mean, we were the only guy passing anybody, so, and a lot of times doing it by ourselves, so was pretty happy with the way our race was going. Just trying some things and trying to pick them off one at a time and try to get ourselves in the top 5 there.
Thanks, Tony. Sorry for bad luck. Krista?
Well, Jeff, somebody else who had a good car was Casey Kane. That car is in the garage. Casey is out of it to talk to us right now. I know you talked about getting bumped from behind. Is this a nature of just plate racing and tight packs and this new side draft?
Well, it had nothing to do with side drafting or anything. I mean, we were just running the line, and the front 3 cars, for whatever reason, slowed up pretty quickly. So I was just on the brakes. I didn't hit Jeff. And I don't know, I mean, Kyle probably was getting pushed from behind or something too. So it just all happened really fast. And, we shot to the infield. And when I hit the grass is when it tore the car apart the most. But we had a fast Farmers Insurance Chevy SS for the last week. Just didn't end very well. I wanted to race. I didn't want to sit single file up by the wall like everybody was doing. I didn't want that at all, but that's what we were doing.
Disappointment to start the season for Casey Kane.
Lap 68 of 200 in the Great American Race. The first 31 laps led by Jeff Gordon. An 8-driver wreck took out 2 of the favorites. Tony Stewart, one of those, trying to work his car back into shape to get back on the track. A 3-time champion, but 0 for 14 in this, his 15th Daytona 500.
Ready to resume after this 3rd caution of the day for debris. In the outside lane, on pole, the Sandy Hook Relief Fund number 26, the Swan Energy racing car owned by Brandon Davis, and 4-time Super Bowl winner Bill Romanowski from Vernon, Connecticut. Michael Waltrip, 2-time winner at the wheel. Danica Patrick back up in the top 2. She will lead the outside lane for this restart as we complete 89 of 200 laps. We're back under green. Patrick edges ahead into turn 1. Boyer gives her a little space with his teammate, number 11, Denny Hamlin, and number 20, Matt Kenseth.
I haven't heard cheering like this at this racetrack since Dale Jr. took the lead at one time or another. This is a really, really big deal.
We'll know in about a mile, can she become the first female to lead a lap in the Daytona 500?
Hamlin coming hard on the inside now with Kenseth. Under green, fans to their feet, to the line. She's done it. Danica Patrick has led the Indy 500 and the Daytona 500.
And these fans were cheering. They were on their feet.
All right, check that box.
Another one.
You know, earlier on the first green flag stop, she fell back from 3rd to 7th, but we analyzed the times, Larry. It was through no fault of her own.
Yeah, those 6 Toyota drivers, remember, they were some of the
trouble
first.
turn 1, guys.
One car down, spinning. Trevor Bayne up to the wall, collects another. That is Carl Edwards. The 5th wreck that Edwards has been involved in this spring. The 34 of David Reagan involved, and that's the 35 of Riverside, California's Josh Wise. We're under caution for the 4th time today.
Something happened to a car going into turn 1, as if it just, I don't know who it was. You'll have to take a look at it, but they lost it going into turn 1.
See Austin Dillon there in the 33, damage to the front end. Trevor Bayne, we mentioned him, the 21. Terry Labonte in the 32 car as well.
Josh Wise all torn up, and his teammate at Front Row Motorsports, David Reagan and David Gilliland. My goodness, all 3 of the front row cars of Bob Jenkins taken out in this pileup.
Let's see what happens here. I looked up, I saw a car spinning, and I couldn't tell why.
27 is the first car out of line in front of you. Up. Hold it, no caution. Caution is out. Caution is out. Caution is out.
Here's Brad Keselowski on the outside of Carl Edwards. Rudeman just ahead.
See what happens here. I looked up, I guess it was the 2 car I saw going, looked like he was down on the apron sideways. Ooh, looked like possibly.
But it looked like they started accordioning up in front of Brad Keselowski.
Very similar to what we saw at the start of the race, Larry. Just somebody slowed up a little bit, and it caused that accordion effect.
We'll go back to green in 1 lap. Carl Edwards is out of the race and with Kristen.
And he is still sitting in his race car in the garage. He waved us over in order to see this replay. Carl, what are we watching here?
Well, I shouldn't have got out of the line in the first place, but I can tell you riding around up there in line is not a lot of fun. So we're going down the front straightaway here, and I was just looking for a hole to get back in, and somebody got turned sideways, and I ended up running into Trevor. So frustrating. This has not been fun. My guys, they're not quitting though. We're working hard. They've already told me they're ready to go to Phoenix and dominate. We're not getting held down this year. It doesn't matter how many cars we wreck here. We're fighting to the very end. We're gonna go to Phoenix now and win that thing. But it's a very frustrating day for Fastenal, and now just go out there and hopefully cheer on another Ford to victory.
All right, Carl staying in the car because, as he said, his team feverishly working, trying to get this 99 back out on the racetrack.
I really ain't got any idea what this thing's going to look like at the end. Just go into the bottom groove, I guess. See what happens. But if we don't have a yellow late, pretty sure we're, considering how this race is ran so far, I'm pretty sure we're going to get something to spice up the end there.
You like the top groove at the beginning of the race. A lot of drivers did. Now, maybe the fast lane is the bottom. That's the lane where Matt Kenseth will take this restart from, alongside teammate Denny Hamlin. Green flag with 54 laps to go.
Well, the bottom is a good place to be, particularly if you're trying to get in front of somebody. You can crowd them a little bit, but, you know, they probably worn the top out, Larry. They're ready to try the bottom for a while.
Here comes Boyer on the inside. And that number 15,
Danica Patrick in the 10. She's in the middle, in the sucker hole, getting shuffled.